this webinar has been organized by NextGen4All, and if you've been following our pages, if you've been a part of our previous webinars that have already that have been taking part, that have been going on for the past around 2 years, then you know what we do within this webinar. So basically, what we do is invite different scholars, African scholars who have been awarded different prestigious opportunities across the globe, and they come here, they share their journey, how they got to know about the opportunity, what they did to get the opportunity, and then they kind of shed light on that opportunity and why you as a student who is thinking about graduate opportunities, why you should opt for that. So that's briefly about it. And about NextGen4All. Basically, NextGen4All is an organization that that aims to democratize educational opportunities to all African students. And how we are doing that is by availing education opportunities through our platforms and also through sessions like this, the webinar. And more than that, we run a mentorship program. And for those who don't know, this is just a webinar. You know, a webinar, you just talk about the highlights of an opportunity, but throughout the mentorship program, what we do is we get all students who are willing, we take them through a whole year program where we help you apply to these prestigious scholarships, talk you through each and every step, review your materials until you apply and get until you apply and get an institution. And we do all of these free of charge. So if you really want to, if you want this kind of help or mentorship, please follow our pages, please apply. Unfortunately, right now, the graduate mentorship program is closed. We already have a cohort, but then the one that is still open and running is the undergrad mentorship program. So if you know anybody who has the qualification and the eligibility criteria, please refer them to this opportunity, because I believe they can really gain a lot from it. So that is enough from NextGen4All. We have a website. You can always go to the website, get to know more about the team and everything that we do. We also have different social media platforms. Our names are NextGen4All. And if you go there on Twitter and X and Instagram, you'll find everything that there is about NextGen. Or if you're not satisfied, please reach out to us. We are very responsive. So the agenda of today. Today we are going to be talking about Erasmus Mundus scholarships. And to some of you, you might have come across this opportunity. To some of you, it might be something completely new. So now this is going to be a very good platform for both of the teams. Basically, even I myself, I'm not an Erasmus Mundus scholar, but I aspire to be one in the future. So throughout this, we would be talking more about the Erasmus Mundus opportunities, and if I can give a little bit of introduction. Of course, our panelists will talk more about this and give all the details. But for those who completely don't know about Erasmus Mundus is a fully funded international scholarship. I'm reading here, I had to note it down. It's a fully funded international scholarship program that is funded by the European Union. You all know that currently most students were being directed to the US and everything, but with the current political situation that are ongoing, it's time to divert our attention to other opportunities out there. So this is one that is really good. So it supports joint master's degrees offered by consortia by European universities. So it's a conglomerate of different European universities, and thus it gives you an opportunity to study at different European countries and different European institutions. So that's why it's called the Joint Masters program. So a brief history about this opportunity is that it was launched in 2004 by the European Commission, and it is aimed at enhancing the quality of higher education through these scholarship opportunities. So now, why, among all the pool of scholarship opportunities, why as a graduate aspiring students, why would you want to choose Erasmus Mundus Scholars? In addition to everything, again, that our panelists are going to be sharing, these are some of the keynotes that I pointed out that if you feel you're levitating towards this point, then this is the right opportunity for you. Number one, you get the opportunity to study in multiple countries. The world right now is a global village. So having that opportunity to have, to attend a global classroom, that is something that anybody would, aspire to have. And another thing is it is fully funded. It is fully funded, it covers your tuition, travel, living expenses, insurance, and sometimes visa support. Again, we have the scholars here, so if anything is not correct, they'll shed more light on that. And another thing that I really love about this opportunity is that it gives you the opportunity to study at top-ranked universities. You find that all their partner institutions are all these, world-ranking institutions. And another thing is it's a career accelerator. What do I mean by this? Graduates are highly employable in international institutions such as NGOs, academia, and top industries. So that is another plus about the opportunity. And the other is personal growth, of course, because you get to meet different students from different parts of the world and so whatnot. So definitely. So if you're already feeling, the heat rising within you, you're like, yes, I have to get this opportunity. I have to apply to this scholarship, then you're at the right place. So, most of the times when we are talking about scholarship opportunities, we often feel that we are not able to apply to them because, first of all, we are Rwandan or East African students, and we don't have all the criteria that they're asking for. But one thing I can assure you during this whole session is something we're going to be coming back to, is that we African students, and most especially East African students, have more prospects to apply and win these opportunities, especially because few people from our region apply for these opportunities. So the more we have people now applying for these opportunities from our own region, the more we increase the prospects of us gaining this kind of opportunities. So now these are my own words, but then among our panelists, if you saw the flyer, you saw that all of them, the African students, and they have won an EST. They are currently probably still going through the program, and others are coming. They're done with the program. So they're going to share with us their journey and how it was. Sorry, I am proving something, and how it was. And I feel like it is always amazing to hear firsthand from African students, because from my own personal journey of applying, is that sometimes when you meet a familiar opportunity, you're like, why is it that there is no African students who has applied to this? That means if I apply, I will not get into it. So Erasmus Mundus is also an opportunity that most African students tend to overlook, but then it is an opportunity that African students have high prospects to apply to and achieve. So enough from me, of course. Back. So as I was saying, if you had an opportunity to look at our flyer, you saw that we have a very good team of panelists with diverse backgrounds. If you can give me a second to open something that has their introduction. So this is going to be a diverse panel. If here we have students with a law background who are currently pursuing law, then this is also going to be another beautiful webinar for you, because on the panel we have Mr. Samuel Frank Martinu, who is doing law and law, AI, and digital governance, and we'll have time to talk more about that. And then we have Mr. Samuel Ngoga, who also has a law background, but is currently doing something relating to environmental and climate law. And again, they will also get to talk more about that. And then on the panel, we have Mr. Aimable Nishimirene, and he's currently working on food systems and economics, and he's going to shed light about that. If you're also interested about food systems or something relating to economics, something like that, this is also another right platform for you to be on. And none other than the one and only lady on the panel who is going to be sharing about the opportunity is called Rachel Masarure, and she has a background in public health and gender rights. So any person here who is here and has a background in health or is looking into breaking to law, to health and something relating to gender, definitely this is also going to be a beautiful platform for you, because you get to talk to someone who's walked the journey and they can kind of shed light on your journey too. So be it whether in agriculture, law, health, business, economics, we are going to try to cover all of those grounds throughout this webinar. Again, the Erasmus Mundus gives you a wide variety. I think after this webinar, you can go search about it. You'll find that it gives you a variety of courses that you can study: developmental studies, gender studies, so it's a lot. So do not limit yourself. So now we are going to give each and every panelist at least 2 minutes or 3 minutes to do a brief introduction of themselves, if they are current, where they're coming from, their names, and the Erasmus Mundus program they did, so that we kickstart the session. Thank you very much. I'll pass on the mic to Mr. Martinu Samuel. All right. Oh, you can't unmute. Wait. Oh, let me help you with that.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I think now I can unmute myself and control. Initially, I couldn't. My name is Martinu Samuel Frank, and I am currently a European Master's degree in law, data and artificial intelligence student, currently on the second year. I'm very happy to be here, and yes, I have a background in law, and I am going to be doing a specialization this year in data governance with the University of Avignon here in France. I am currently in France. My program runs around 4 European countries. It begins with Dublin City University, and then it goes to Avignon University and Università di Pisa in Italy, and we have a summer school that is meant to be happening in Spain. Yes, basically that is it about the European Master's degree. Okay, I don't know if I should introduce the program fully in itself, because I feel like there are going to be a lot of conversation around that. But the European Master's degree in Law, Data and Artificial Intelligence is a program that blends two main sectors. That is the computing stream and the law stream. We want to bring in engineers to sit in the room with people who have to deal with policy work, and we want to bring in lawyers to sit into the same rooms with people who deal with codes and with people who deal with algorithms. So the program is very tech oriented, but also with a certain legal emphasis. So that is it for now. That is it I can say about the program. If there is much more to say, I'm definitely going to be happy to, to come in. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much, Frank. So any person here with a law background, please get a notebook, write all the questions that you have in mind, such as career projection as a law student. So pass on the mic to Mr. Aimable. Just a brief introduction in the names and the program that you're doing, and the whole program structure. Yes, I am unmuting. Good.
Thank you, Rachel, for the introduction. So, yeah, can you hear me, everyone?
Yeah.
Perfect. Yeah, so my name is Emma Blenishimlen. I'm from Rwanda. As Rachel said, my background is in food systems and economics. So I did my bachelor's in agricultural economics in Turkey and moved on to the European Masters joint program Erasmus Mundus in Agricultural, Food, and Environmental Policy Analysis. So this program blends different backgrounds. We have people from the pure economics, people from environmental sciences, people from agricultural sciences, people from food sciences. So they come in and try to blend in the economics and policy aspect of these diverse backgrounds. So the program has 4 participating universities. The first one is the University of Bonn in Germany, which is the coordinating university. The second one is called UC Leuven, it's in Belgium. And the third one is called Uppsala University in Sweden. And the fourth one is the Catholic University in Italy, in Piacenza. I did my first year in Belgium at UC Leuven and completed my program in Germany at the University of Bonn. And yeah, I finished my studies last year, and I'm currently working on food system research, and I think that's all for now, and I'm ready to contribute more to the question that we'll be having on this program. Thank you, Rachel.
All right, thank you very much, Emab. So we move on to the lady in the house, Miss Rachel Masaure. A brief introduction of your names, which I've already done, of yourself and the program that you did. Oh, okay, let me unmute you. Good.
Hello, everyone. Kindly confirm if you can hear me clearly.
Yeah. Loud and clear.
Okay, so my name is Tariro Rachel Masaraure. I'm from Zimbabwe, but now I'm permanently based in Australia. I have a Bachelor of Science Honours degree in Women's and Gender Studies from the Women's University in Africa in Zimbabwe, and I did my first Master's in Gender and Development at the University of Sussex in the UK, which was also a fully funded opportunity by Alan and Nesta Ferguson. Then I pursued the Erasmus Mundus opportunity in 2022 to 2024, and I'm also proud to say when I got Erasmus Mundus scholarship, I also got the Chevening scholarship, which is UK funded. So I had to choose between the two. So I chose Erasmus Mundus scholarship, and I pursued a program called Europub Health, which is European Public, a Master in European Public Health. This program is done. He has got six countries or 6 universities in partnership. So there is a university in Ireland, the UK, then Belgium for your first year. Then, so first year is public health. Everybody will be doing masters in public health.
Mm-hmm.
Then the second year, you then choose your specialization. So there is Netherlands, which is a master's in governance and leadership in European public health. Then those who went to France, there were 2 masters, one in health promotion, another one in biostatistics. Then those who chose Poland, they were focusing on something around economics and public or something like that. So my pathway was I did my MPH, Master of Public Health, in the UK at the University of Sheffield. That was 1 year, and then I understand Erasmus Mundus programs, they are joint masters, but the uniqueness of my program is it was a double masters, because I would do a full master's in one university and another full master's in another university. So my second master's then became Master of Science in Governance and Leadership in European Public Health in the Netherlands at Maastricht University. So so now I can proudly say I have 3 master's degrees and my bachelor's. So that's about my and then also we would do another integration module in France. So technically it was UK, Netherlands, and France.
All right, that is very interesting. There are a lot of questions burning for you, so I'm looking forward to the whole session. Thank you very much, Rachel. So now, last but not least, person on the panel is Mr. Ngoga. If you can also unmute Mr. Ngoga. Unfortunately, I can't see Mr. Ngoga. Right. All right. Unfortunately, I can't see Mr. Ngoga. I don't know why. Oh, okay. He's asking to be unmute. Perfect. Oh, okay. Perfect. All done. Apologies for the inconvenience.
No worries. I hope everyone can hear me.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Rachel, the moderator, and I'm so happy to meet other panelists and everyone in the room. My name is Samuel Ngoga, and I am doing an Erasmus Mundus program on climate change, diversity, and sustainable territorial development. I have a background in law, as well as Martinu. And my program is the coordinating university is the University of Padova in Italy. And it's a program shared by 4 universities. And the first university which I went to for my second semester is the University of Johannesburg in South Africa. And the university, there's also one university that I can't pronounce its Spanish name that is based in Ecuador, and there's also a university in Portugal. So in general, it's and also a university, by the way, in Burkina Faso. So the program is designed in a way that allows people who are pursuing studies in climate change to have the field experience, to be where the issue are from, and to have the different perspectives of the issues. And it also allows you to do research, because we are able to do research from different parts of the world. We're talking about the Amazon, the Amazonian forest, to South Africa, to Burkina Faso, to Portugal. And it allows you to give you a perspective of what is going on across 3 continents in general. So it is a program of 2 years, and it's also a joint program, but it is a blend of a double degree and the joint program. And also one specific and interesting thing about the program is that also we are going to get to that, the requirements, but it's also a program for mostly, it attracts bilingual people. Either you can speak Spanish or French and English, or English with another language, because all these different universities, most of the time, the programs are given in different language other than English, which could be French, which could also be Spanish or or Portuguese. So yes, and I'm so happy to be here and to answer all your questions, and I'm looking forward to this session. Thank you, Rachel. Back to you.
Thank you very much, Goga. So, well, that's an introduction of all the panelists. So for those who are not aware of the panelists or who wanted to hear the voices, there you have them. So now we're going to get into the matter of the day, the agenda of the day. So as we heard from the different panelists, they chose Erasmus Mundus, and we also got to hear from Rachel, who said she already had an offer from Chevening, Shad, Alan, and Nesta. So this question is going to go to all the panelists. There are lots of opportunities ongoing currently, right? Different opportunities, as you mentioned. Also, there will be Chevening opening later this year. Excuse the sound. And there's so many more opportunities that are currently running. So why did you sit down and decide and think to yourself, like, let me go for Erasmus Mundus? In light of all these opportunities, why did you sit down and you're like, I want to do Erasmus Mundus, to the extent that if now also maybe in the same line, if now you kind of look back, if you were given a different opportunity that you wanted at that time, would you still have gone for Erasmus Mundus? So to break the ice, I'll again choose Frank. Why did you choose Erasmus Mundus? And if you were to go back in time, would you still choose Erasmus given any other opportunity? You're on mute. You are on mute.
Thank you very much, Rochelle. Thank you very much. I know the technology is not easy to handle these days, but it's fine. I mean, to be honest, I had admission. I had admission into 5 universities: Tilburg University, Loyola University in the US, and I had admission into 2 other universities in Europe. And I must say that what made me select basically is the fact that the opportunity that Erasmus offers was really, really much more interesting. For example, on the side of Loyola, they weren't giving me a full medical insurance. They weren't giving me a full scholarship. On the side of Tilburg University, they were not giving me the attention academically oriented that I was looking for. I mean, there's a couple of things that came into consideration when I got to the level of selection. But I think what made me select and sit down for Erasmus was the fact that I realized that the program brings in mainly not only people from the global south, but also people from the global north across the world. That really caught my attention because I think the best way to tackle most of the issues into our field is by seeing and being close to other nationalities, mainly from the global south, given the similarities we have in terms of issues, in terms of capacity building, the kind of problems we go through. They are very similar. So I had to sit down and brainstorm. But also the fact that Erasmus Mundus, or the Emil Dai program itself, has a lot of interesting, people who emerge from it. And I'm mainly referring to Professor Eduardo, that is the chairman. I had to go around, read his biography, and I realized that it's really interesting. I wanted to be taught by someone that has such a CV and a parcours. It also made me realize that I may be much of a francophone than an English person, because just like most of the co-panelists have mentioned, most often to be an Erasmus student you need to be speaking at least English and French, or you need to be speaking a third language, and a third international language. It could be Spanish, or it could be another language. So I think most of those elements had to play a great role, and I chose the university that made me feel less financially stressed, because Erasmus Mundus, of all of those opportunities, gave me really less financial issues to think about, not only on the side of health, but also on the side of academics, because on these programs you get to go for conferences, you get to go for so many social events that require you to have a certain minimum level of of standard in society. So I had to look at most of these things, and I got to the conclusion that I think I'm settling for Erasmus Mundus, because the opportunities are less financially stressful, and it really determined most of the rest of the things that I decided. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Martinu. So from my dear audience, you can hear that you can opt for Erasmus Mundus because of the package that comes with Erasmus Mundus. A global classroom. That's something that always blows my mind about the opportunity. So thank you very much, Frank, for sharing that. And I'll pass on the mic to Tungoga. Why did you choose Erasmus Mundus? And given an opportunity, would you still choose Erasmus Mundus, or you would change your mind and be like, no, I'm not having that?
The last part of the question is very tricky, but I will start with why did I choose the Erasmus Mundus program in general. I believe I'm not going to say anything different from what Frank mentioned, because I believe that it is one about the you start thinking about tuition, but also thinking about the insurance, the living costs, and also all these things that you put in your head, because most of these programs attract, especially to a master level, attracts people who are already professionals, people who are already working. So you no longer depend on anyone. You no longer depend on your parent or anyone. You have started, like, providing for yourself. So when it comes to pursuing like a master's program, sometimes you put that into consideration, and the most pragmatic way to approach this is more leaning towards getting funding for your studies, which most of us do, because it takes away a lot of burden off your shoulders and can allow you to pursue your studies without worrying about other expenses in general. So as Frank said, it is about the package, because Erasmus Mundus, in particular my program, the call for application comes in 3.
I don't know whether it's mine or Samuel's. It's Samuel's. Ngoga, I think we've lost you. All right, it's okay. We'll still have him back, and
Well, that it's my internet. So the second is for a partial scholarship, where they give some waivers on, for example, tuition, and give you insurance, but you're going to cover your living expense. And the third one is like no scholarship at all, just a few benefits, but no scholarship, no insurance, no whatever. So I think also when you're applying, you have to keep in mind that the Erasmus Mundus scholarship calls for application comes in different parts. So you have to be mindful and apply in that window so that you can be able to secure a full scholarship. And sometimes the programs might even give you some waivers, which still are good. If someone takes away the tuition and also takes the insurance, and you just have to take care of your living expenses, I think it's really, really tremendous as well, and can allow you to focus on your studies and also allow you to complete the program without any hurdles. And I think most of the reason why, for me, answering the question that you asked in the first place, why did I choose this program? I think it comes back to the fact that at that point in my life, I more or less knew what I wanted to do, or what type of programs that I want to pursue, so that can allow me to further my career, or even help me to do something that I'm passionate about and also like. I've always known that I want to do something around environmental law and climate change law, or policy, something around law and environmental issues or challenges. And I think that's the first question that you have to ask yourself as someone who's going to be applying for these programs. You have to first ask yourself, what do I want to do? And what do I want to do, and where do I see myself in the future doing, or like, what do you want to do in the future, and what your ideal career would look like? And I feel like once you have gotten an answer to that question, and that helps you, one, to know what you want to do, and two, to know what you don't want to do. Because in most cases, if you don't know what you want to do, or you just want to grab any opportunity that you come across, you may end up not even having a clear vision about what you want to do. As Frank said, he wanted to do something around tech, law, and now emerging technologies and emerging issues around AI and AI itself. So he had an idea, and knowing Frank, I'm just going to talk about Frank as if he's not in the room with us. Knowing Frank, he has worked towards the program that he's doing. Yeah. And I have the impression that as well, I have worked towards the program that I'm doing, because as a person, I've been interested in climate change, have been part of different programs on environmental law. I was a member of I'm still a member of the IUCN World Environmental Law Commission, the Commission on Environmental Law. I went to COP27 as a negotiator on Rwanda's behalf. So I've always been in that space of climate change. So if there is a program that you are really eyeing, and there is something that you want to do, start building, because this also helps in your application, because just because a program is fancy or speaks to you, it doesn't mean that you may get accepted. I'm sure that you may get accepted if you start working on what you want to do or towards that program. And most of the people in the room, I'm 100% sure that they know that. I feel like the reason why I chose this program is because when I came across it, it spoke to me, because I had positioned myself to be maybe part of this program, and I had done a few things. So, which is why I'm encouraging people who are on the call today to start doing things that can allow them to get into the programs they're aiming for. And it doesn't have to be extraordinary, because I was not doing extraordinary things like groundbreaking research or groundbreaking activities. I mean, even volunteering, start making yourself attractive to these programs. And I feel like, to me, maybe I was a little bit, because these programs are very diverse, as again Frank said. They're diverse, and they bring people from different parts of the world, and in that diversity, that's where your strength is, because no matter what you bring to the table, it's going to be unique, because it's you, and you have your goals, you have your history, and you have your vision. And I believe that, I feel like why I chose this program, just to end here, is because I felt like this is the program that I want to do. And when I read the description and saw how it's very diverse, even when it comes to disciplines, because in my classroom, we are only 5 lawyers. The rest come from biology background, chemistry, and others are architect and anthropologist. So it's very diverse. So when I was like, okay, we need to have different perspectives when we are dealing with issues like climate change, and to be able to listen to what others have to say and what other solutions people are proposing. That's when I felt like, okay, maybe this is the program I want to do. And I think, and if I would choose it again, I think 100% I would choose it again, because it has been really a great journey for me, and it has allowed me to meet people that I would never in my life have met before, perspectives, and also it also made me grounded, because I saw so many people coming from different parts of the world, from Latin America, from Europe, from even North America and Africa itself. And it made me realize how everyone wants to work from home, propose these solutions. They have different ways they explain what is a community, what is climate change, what other solutions, and it made me feel like more grounded to my passion and to my mission. So I think 100% I would choose this program. And thank you for that question.
Thank you very much, Ngoga. I think you've really raised a very good point in that about Erasmus Mundus is that it gives you the opportunity to study where let's say the way you said you're going to Burkina Faso, someone here will be like, okay, why would you want to go to study from Burkina Faso? But no, that is where, the issues are going down. So being able to study in that kind of setting, it also kind of, gives you much deeper insights on the program that you're doing. And again, you came back to, beginning with an end in mind. And I think this is something we usually tell our mentees, is that when you're applying to any program, you don't just, wake up and apply, but you need to, start early. If I want to do something relating to climate, what do I have now? What do I start working on right now? So that by the time I start my application, I already have everything that I'm needed. Not just waking up today, I have a background in business, you have no interest in so whatnot, and then you want to, divert to law without any other previous activities that have backed that up. So thank you very much, Samuel, for bringing that up and highlighting that. And I'm glad that you still choose Erasmus, which means, our audience, they should also opt for Erasmus. So I'm going to pass on the mic to Rachel to also tell us why she chose Erasmus, especially because she turned down Chevening, which is also another big scholarship opportunity. And then maybe along the way, she can also share her journey with Ellen Nesta, which is not a very popular opportunity again here in East Africa, and then also talk about the program. Thank you very much. Over to you, Rachel.
Okay, I need to understand your question, so that I answer from an informed position. Are you asking about Erasmus Mundus, the opportunity, or you're asking about the program Europub Youth that I pursued, so that I know how to answer?
So you can highlight a bit about Erasmus in general. Why? Because as you mentioned, you had chevening on the table, but you still went for Erasmus. And then Erasmus provides a diverse, courses to choose from. Why did you specifically go for Europe Hub? Especially if we have any student who has a health background or is thinking about aspiring about health, I think that would also be really helpful for them. And then, you continue with
Okay.
that. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. So I'll try to be really quick and brief. So one aspect has been mentioned by my colleagues, which is that Erasmus Mundus is fully funded, and same as Chevening is also fully funded, but I chose Erasmus. The reason why then I preferred Erasmus more than Chevening is because of the opportunity to travel, because besides just studying, it's an opportunity to explore the world on a free budget. So that's why I opted for Erasmus. Then I know for some they do not have intentions to immediately go back to their home countries. So for Erasmus, you are not obliged to return to your home country as soon as you finish, in as much as we wish we could, so that we can as well change our communities or make a difference in our communities. But for Erasmus, we are not obliged to go back home. I chose also Erasmus because it has got its programs are 2 years. So mostly within those 2 years, you have a placement or internship, whatever name that you use. So it's an opportunity to also get into European companies, learn their working culture, gain some experience that can also add value to your future work. Then I love Erasmus as well because it's not really merit based like some other scholarships or opportunities where you have to be an A star or an excellent student to gain, but mostly they look at your experience within the field that you want to explore, because they want you to add value to the program as well. Then also I love Erasmus because it doesn't have any age restrictions like other opportunities, and also the fact that because you'll be living in diverse countries, cultures, you have an opportunity to learn the language for free, offered by your university. So yeah, this is what I can say about Erasmus Mundus, cultural exchange itself that comes with the program. Then the reason why I chose Europub Health, like I mentioned earlier on, that I have a background in my bachelor's is women's and gender studies, and my first master's is in gender and development, but my work experience was in non-governmental organizations, mainly focusing on sexual and reproductive health and rights. So I realized that in as much as I'm in this space, I do not have, like, technically I'm working that space, but I do not have like the theoretical understanding of what public health is. So it then became my motivation to pursue public health, because my intention or my hope was to be more like a gender expert in public health. So there is a connection between my first programs, or my bachelor's and my first master's, and this new program. And also why Europub Health, when I was looking at the catalog for Erasmus Mundus, I could see that most programs, they are done in 4 to 6 countries, and maybe you do one semester in Italy, one semester in Spain, another semester in France. For me, I didn't want that kind of, in as much as I love traveling, I also needed some kind of stability in one space. So Erasmus Mundus would allow me to do 1 year in one country. For example, I did 1 year in the UK, then another 1 year in the Netherlands, because there are also some challenges that will come with that mobility pathway, because you have to find accommodation before you settle, you move again. So for me, I chose Europub Youth because of the stability that comes with being in one country for a year, then another year in another country. Then of course the 6 weeks in France would use them more like a vacation, in as much as it was an integration module. I chose public health because I know public health is here to stay. No matter the changes that are going to come in various sectors, public health will always stay. So that's my story, and I'll stick to it.
All right. Thank you very much, Rachel. And something I've really highlighted from this is that sometimes we should not be enclosed in one box. And the reason as to why I'm saying this is that we hear you did not have a background in health, but from that background of gender studies, you're like, I need to go for public health. And it's a whole shift because public health tackles a lot of health aspects and so on. Not so being able to do that. And another thing that you really came back to that I really liked is that Erasmus Mundus gives you the opportunity and internship opportunities, which is something we don't see with a lot of opportunities. You find that, especially for the US, most of the opportunities they provide, you do that opportunity. Once you're done, they give you about 1 year and then you're off back to your country. But then knowing that Erasmus is there after your education studies, in addition to everything that you've acquired during that whole academic period, you have the internship opportunities. I think that makes a huge difference in your professional journey. So thank you very much for highlighting that, and the fact that it is not merit based, and because it's a prestigious opportunity, and knowing that it's not merit based, it's amazing. So if you're here and you are in second class upper and you're kind of feeling low, maybe all is not lost. This is also still an opportunity that you can really explore. So the last person to shed light more on this is Emab. Do you have a different perspective that you would like to share with us?
Thank you, Rachel, and everyone who just spoke before me. I think most of the upside of the Erasmus Mundus, or these attractive attributes that appeal to many people, most of my colleagues have spoken about them. The full package, the financial package that allows you to, focus on your studies if you want to continue with the PhD so that you can get good grades, or if you want to go to the industry, that you can find an internship and be sure that you have enough money to just spend a few months doing your internship in peace. Also, this good thing that Rachel said about no obligation of returning home, it's so important because when you are done studying, you can have this especially when you do your program where you spend a whole year in a country and a year in another country. So for example, upon graduation, I had the option to apply for a job search visa, that's how they call it in Belgium, and a job search visa in Germany. So you have the option to choose where you want to pursue your professional endeavors upon graduation. No one is pushing you to return back home, and I think that's exceptional for the Erasmus Mundus programs. For me, choosing it boiled down to those attributes, but also knowing the value of the university that you'll be attending. I know there are around 214 programs in the Erasmus Mundus catalog, and when you go down there, you just look for different programs. And I was lucky enough, for example, I applied to 3 programs and I got admission to all of them with the full funding. So it was a privilege. I don't think it was something that I was expecting, but going through those programs, looking at the countries, looking at the universities, I had that kind of privilege of saying, okay, this is the best university that I can choose. This is the best program that I want. These are the professors that I want to work with. And the best thing about it is, among these 214 programs, when you select by field, you see many programs that align with your background. As you said, you don't have to say, okay, I did law, I want to just focus on law. There are many programs with tracks that align with different research ideas, and you can just go for different, and you can apply to as many as you want. The other good thing about Erasmus Mundus, you don't have to pay anything when you're applying, which is also interesting. So you can apply to as many programs as you want. Then it increases the chances of getting an admission from either of the programs you apply to. So yeah, I think that's mostly what attracted me to Erasmus Mundus, and also the opportunity of having access to these 29 countries in the Schengen region, where you can, travel when you have time, or look for conferences that are taking place in those countries and attend easily without having to go through the visa issues. Those are the benefits that come and are only particular to Erasmus Mundus, which is different from the case where you apply to a master's program at a university in a given country and you just focusing on that program in that country and you don't know what's going to happen next. So I think overall that's all that I can say, and I will be answering questions related to my program if anyone is interested in environment, food, agriculture, economics, those things related to the program that I attended particularly. Thank you.
Thank you very much, each and every one of you, for taking us throughout that. And the whole purpose of this is to highlight why any graduate aspiring student, why they should also go for Erasmus Mundus. Again, there are so many opportunities, but if you think about Erasmus Mundus, from everything that they have said, if anything resonates with you, then this might be the opportunity for you. If I can summarize the key points from each and everything the panelists shared, is that number one, it will give the opportunity, gives you the opportunity to go to top universities, the opportunity to pursue diverse courses, and being in a global classroom. And another thing is that it will align you with your passion, depending on what you're mostly interested in. They will place you in that environment. And then you get a travel experience. Again, as I mentioned, you get to study between 2 to 6, around 6, universities, which means there'll be a lot of traveling across Europe. And another thing which is very important, of course, it's fully funded and no application fee, and internship opportunities after the program. So I think that's it. Since now we know more about Erasmus Mundus and you've convinced us why we should go for Erasmus Mundus, we now need to get down to business. I know each and every application, it comes with documents, it comes with eligibility criteria, it comes with, the so what not. And these general documents are asked for, the motivation letters of recommendation, the general stuff. But then how do we approach this uniquely in a way that leads us to being Erasmus Mundus scholars? So basically what I'm asking for is, what are the major documents that are required, and what would make them different from other documents that you would provide to other opportunities? Because Erasmus Mundus is a highly competitive opportunity, whether we like it or not. That means the way you approach it should be different. So what are those particular documents, and how best can we, align them? So that would be question number 2. But for now, what are those documents? So the person, Mr. Aimable and Goga, are going to take us through the documents briefly, the key documents that we need, and the rest we'll tackle it after that. But the key documents that we need, and maybe any differences or different approach that students can use while applying for these opportunities. So without further ado, maybe Goga would start.
Thank you very much, Rachel, for that question. I believe that each program has its unique, not unique, but there's some general documents where each and every program would require from an applicant, and there's some other specific documents that they may require from you. So it's best, this is not a general answer to all questions, and I know that Aimable is going to be supporting me on this one. So please make sure that you do research and see if an updated visit the website and see those updated requirements, or if the requirements are still the same as from last year, if you're applying in this next year's class. So okay, now to the documents. I believe that I'm going to give an example from my own experience from some of the programs that I have been part of. Have assisted in one way or another, or have come across me. So in my program, one of the when it comes to the motivation letter or the personal statement as we know it, there was no specific personal statement. They gave us a series of questions that we responded to. This helped in my program. They say that in before they used to receive motivation letters and personal statements from students, and it didn't answer the questions that they wanted the applicant to answer to. So these specific questions, they give you a question and then limits you to how far you can go answering that question. So you have to be specific and say, if they ask you what are you going to be doing after you have completed your program, you can either say, I want to pursue a PhD program, I want to pursue another master's, I want to come back home and work with grassroots communities, I want to explore what are open opportunities for me in Europe or elsewhere. So it was more specific questions like, what is your goal? What do you want to do? I mean, it was very specific. I remember that when I was applying, I was giving like lengthy answers, and then I had to go back and reduce my answers because I was like, I'm giving maybe too much information, or sometimes information that that's relevant to this specific question. And I saw someone asking a question around the language requirement, because we know TOEFL and all these language assessment things, they are nightmares, and they shouldn't be there in the first place, but they are there, and it's like a barrier to many applicants. I know how you guys feel. We don't like them here as well. But the good thing about my program is that they didn't ask for a language, the proof, TOEFL or any other language assessment exam certificate. They say that they were going to assess your language skills during the interview. So everyone who made it to the interview stage were able to be assessed. Their language skills were assessed during the interview. So they asked you questions in English. If you were able to respond to the questions and can hear what the person is asking, I'm 100% sure that in the classroom you're going to be able to follow. And trust me, the Italian English accent can be very hard to follow, but so they are kind in that sense, but they can be very heavy on other. And I saw there's a question that Rachel answered in the comment section about the language requirements to each program. In my program, because I was going to South Africa, I was going to do the University of Padova in Italy and then go to the University of Johannesburg. And also in the third semester, I received classes in French. So in my program, if I was taking the path that I took, I had to be speaking English and French. And I speak French, but my other colleagues who were going, for example, to Portugal, to the university in Portugal, the University of Madeira, they had to be speaking English and Portuguese. So you need to make sure that you're not going to be wasting a lot of your time to a program and then realize you are applying to a nice program, but they're requiring you to speak Spanish because you're going to Spain or you're going to another country. So that is a very tricky part of Erasmus Mundus, where you need to look at the language requirement, because they may not ask for a certificate or to ask you if you're a B1 or a B2 in Spanish or a B1 or B2 in French, but they're going to ask you questions like conversational questions. And I think the language barrier, they try to not make it a barrier and democratize education in that sense, and not say we are going to assess your language skills so that because most of these people, I know Emab is going to speak on this, they're going to spend their time in laboratories. And trust me, scientists don't need to be speaking and being more eloquent or presenting as if they're in a conference room or whatever. So they're going to say, if you can express yourself and be able to present for example, your paper or your work or your experience or your whatever, that is good enough. So for Erasmus Mundus, I feel like that is what makes it kind of unique and very welcoming, especially when you are attracting people from all across the world and who comes from different education systems and such. So I think those are few things about the application. And you need recommendation letters. And I know this is something NextGen has maybe been reiterating to its fellows or mentees. personal statements need to come from people who truly knows you, who can describe you, and who can describe you. It doesn't, and the personal statement doesn't have to be very formal. They can even call you a nickname of how people know you in your circle, or your colleagues know you. So it really needs to come from people who truly knows you, knows who you are as a person, so that they can be able to communicate your skills, communicate your interpersonal skills, communicate how you are as a person to someone who has not met you and can have an idea of who Rachel is, or who any other person in the room is. So you really need to be mindful and create that connection. Don't go to an academic or a professional mentor when you just need the reference letters. You need to build that, that relationship. You have to be diplomatic about that, so that at the time that you need to apply, the person knows you and knows that you have even started the process. Because there is something that is called burning the bridge, is when you're about to apply for a program and tell the person that you want them to recommend you that you are applying. Tell Rachel from NextGen that I'm applying for this program. So that means that you have this pressure from people who expect you to apply in the end, because no one is going to ask you, oh, you didn't get admitted. No, the first win is you applying. So tell people that you're applying, tell your family that you're applying, tell everyone that you're applying, so that you can be under that pressure of people asking you, how is it going, and how far have you gone with your application. So burn the bridges and say, I'm applying for this program, whatever happens, happens. And especially one thing about Erasmus Mundus is that there's no application fee. So you apply right away. Check the requirements and see if you meet all the requirements, then apply. Thank you. Tuemab, thank you very much.
Thank you, Ngoga, for giving this rather comprehensive outline of the document that are most required. The English certificates, I've seen some programs that require the IELTS and TOEFL, but the good thing is sometimes they even ask you to provide a letter from the university showing that you did your bachelor's in English, and then that helps a lot when you can provide that, and then you are good to proceed. Then he talked about the recommendation letters. Those are very important. If you don't have those, there is high chance that you just send your application and that's no one is going to even consider it. So on the motivation letter and personal statements, also it applies from different to university or program to program. For example, one of the programs that I applied to, they asked us to write a cover letter of 300 words. You can imagine half a page. There is nothing that can fit in, but yeah, that's the requirement and you have to oblige. So it changes from program to program, and I'm happy that even that's the program that I ended up choosing to join. And it was so stressful when I saw the requirement, but each program has its own requirements. The other thing is your transcripts and diplomas. So if you're still going through your university and you're planning to apply, just be mindful of that and start asking around how you can get your transcripts on time. For example, I applied to these Erasmus Mundus programs when I was in my 4th year of my undergraduate. Lucky enough, I received my offer even before I started the last semester of my last year. So you can imagine, if you have your transcript showing that you are graduating before the program starts, you're good to go. You don't have to say, okay, I first need to graduate and apply. So when you have your transcript showing that you are going to graduate before the program starts, just send your application. No one is going to say, okay, we are not sure. Just make sure that you write a cover letter that shows that you have prepared yourself, as Ngoga said, that you volunteered in some programs, that shows alignment with the program you're applying to, that shows what you want to do in the future is in alignment with what the program is training you for. And the other thing is I guess that kind of connection that Ngoga talked about with your recommenders. You don't want to just tell someone on the last minute that you're applying and they don't know anything about you. They're not going, if they just say, okay, I taught this student and he just got this score in my course and that's it, they don't talk about anything else, there's a high likelihood that that's not going to be helpful at all. They have to speak to your abilities, your strength and ability to overcome challenges, because these master's programs are challenging to some extent, and you need someone to show that you have overcome some challenges already. You have experience to come to a new environment from your background and be able to overcome those challenges. So I think those are the main important documents that you need. The other ones change from program to program. There is a huge catalog. You just browse through each program and you can see a number of documents that they're going to ask. And yeah, I think that's all I can say for now. Thank you.